record on this computer. I believe it's recording. How about that? Is your volume not up?
Yeah, the volume was all the way down.
Cool. That happens to me all the time.
I like my backdrop.
I do. I was just gonna say much improved.
Yeah. I like a fuzzy background.
I could do that. Hold on, let me see if I can do a fuzzy background here.
A fuzzy background.
Choose video filter.
This is a real
Right here.
background.
That's not it. Oh wait. Ooh.
Oh.
No, I chose this because it already has a good background.
And it's beautiful.
Thanks.
And then the video thing kept on falling with Jared. It was like, oh, there's my nose, there's my nostril.
Well, that's okay. We can edit that out and post, right?
Yeah, or you can go like this.
Or you could not too. One of the two. So I think I tore the pages out of what we already talked about, so that I could have it as a reference. However, I think I left one of the pages over there. I don't think I got everything, but no matter. We
You can run and go get it if you want.
No, that's okay. I think I might have everything. I could be wrong. We'll see. So, are you ready? Good. You might be making a lot of noises upstairs too because they're having a party.
Yeah. Ah! Where'd you go?
I'm right here.
Okay. I disappeared for a second.
Oh no. Cool. Okay, so let's see. How old was Jared? Jared was like 10 years old, 11 years old when you had Aaron?
Yeah, he was 10.
Okay, so you have 3 boys kind of back to back a little bit. And then
Back to back.
Exactly. And then you wait 10 years. Why did you wait 10 years? Why was it after 10 years you're ready to have more kids?
Well, you'd have to be there to know when you have 3 little boys and very little help. Because your dad was working all the time. It was like, I am so tired. And then I started working and time slips by.
Mm.
And I always knew I wanted more. So, voila.
Okay, so you had your 3 and then it was just a lot. And then you're working and all that. And then after 10 years, was there any inspiration or any?
Well, I think I was getting ready for the temple, and you get a lot of inspiration when you're getting ready to take your endowments out and that. And I think I told Jared the story about knowing that I wanted to have another baby, and it was so evident that Aaron, I could hear him in my mind. I knew it was going to be a boy. I knew it was going to be Aaron, and I was driving along, and I had to pull over the car because I was crying so hard. I knew, and it didn't take long before I was pregnant with him.
Wow.
So.
Wow. And I think you said that you knew that his name was going to be Aaron too, right?
Uh-huh.
Wow, that is very special. Honestly, I didn't remember this the last time you told me that, but thinking about it just now when Clarissa and I found out that we were going to have a baby, and they released us from the hospital with our paperwork, didn't tell us anything. And then like in the notes, it was like, well, possible ectopic pregnancy. And we're like, what?
Yeah,
What was that all about? And they
yeah,
didn't say anything. Um, and so I was praying about it, and I had the distinct feeling she will be all right.
yeah,
And I think that um, knowing that our baby was going to be all right was, good enough for me. But then knowing it was going to be a girl, I think that that was extra special.
yeah. You're like, what?
Okay, so very cool. I think that's a pretty good reason for having another child, is having the divine inspiration. And how was that pregnancy for you when you had
I,
her? Were there any complications, any worries?
there's nothing wrong with Aaron. It was me. I had what they call fibroids, and so I had to, about my 5th month, they wanted me to take it easy, sit on the couch, not do a lot. And you know how hard that is for me. So, but your brother said the best part of the pregnancy was that because everybody was bringing food in every night. So they had all these casseroles and everything. They're like, this is great.
You should get pregnant more often, right?
Yeah, I should have. But anyway, it was fine. Everything went great.
Okay, good. Okay. Um, and then anything?
He was probably my second easiest birth. So everything went really good. Uh, Something kind of cool though is that Aunt Gail, your dad had been working so many hours. Aunt Gail went with me to the hospital.
Mhm.
And it wasn't really anything, that we were thinking he was going to be born that night or anything. So I said, I told your dad to stay home, and Gail read Chicken Soup for the Soul to me all night.
Oh,
So it was sweet. And then the next morning I told your dad, I said, if you're going to miss everything, if you don't get here right now. So mom and dad and Matt and, they all came, and your dad ran in. So he got there for
yeah.
the fireworks. Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Good
Oh,
stuff.
very cool. And how was it different with your fourth baby? Were you kind of knew what to expect?
It was easier. I always said I should have had teenagers first because uh, Matt and Mark and Jared were all big help. They would take care of Aaron. He was pretty much worshipped, you know. Oh, there's a baby, And then Jared was so happy not to be the baby anymore.
Oh, really? That's what I was going to ask. Was he was the baby of the family for
No jealousy at all. He adored Aaron, and he would, I was so tired, from staying up all night with them, and partially, when I started back to work and stuff. So Jared would carry him around the house, like a 10 and 11-year-old would, I got him, mom, and I'd find them passed out in a chair, rocking chair. He said that chair was so comfortable. So very good babysitter.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Yeah,
Any fond memories of Aaron as a baby?
too many.
Too many.
Yeah,
And
I
you'd like to
remember
share?
going to Japan with him.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he was 8 months old. You can relate, taking a baby that age, and he didn't cry almost the whole time. He was so good. And then people would run up and say, can we take a picture? Shashing. Yes, you can take a picture with my baby. and and Aunt Chris was there, and she said, he is the Emperor of Japan. Because everybody wanted to, touch him, look at him,
Uh-huh.
it was
Oh.
extremely fond memories. But when I look back at the videos and just like our family videos,
Mm-hmm.
it was just so cute. You could tell everybody adored him. And just a few things stick out in my mind, like one time Grandma and Grandpa and I were talking and we were at our house and Aaron fell off the couch and he goes, I'm okay. Nobody paid attention. We're all just talking, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, I'm okay. You know, until everybody goes, oh, okay, good. You know,
Oh, that's so funny.
there's too many Aaron stories.
Uh-huh.
Like all the students. When he was like 3 years old, I was doing the foreign exchange a
Uh-huh.
lot. And he'd tell the students, now, students, shut up. All so noisy. Or we'd be driving in the van, you know, start dropping them off. Students, get out. And then, you know, just fun stuff like that.
Oh,
My little mini me
mhm.
coordinator. Yeah.
Well, and he's still really cute.
He's still really cute.
So Aaron was born, great pregnancy, great baby, great person. But before you had me, you had 2 other pregnancies.
Yeah. One was what they call, I didn't even know. I mean, I was like, I don't know what that is. Blighted ovum. So it never really developed.
Okay.
Don't know why. And then when I was about 5 months along, I lost the second one. And at that time I was under so much stress. You know, I was like crazy. I had several groups I was running, and then I had the one I was running they were horrible, just horrible kids. And the coordinator that they had come over, the escort,
Mhm.
I mean, it was just such a strain on me. And your dad goes, man, you haven't smiled for 3 months. And I go, you know, so I don't know if that was it or not. We never found out if it was a boy or girl. We could have probably,
Mm.
but everybody thinks, well, it's probably, you know, boy. Very tough. It was, but I knew, again, if you're in tune, you can feel that other child, and that was you.
Mm.
And you know, I prayed about it. I go, this is it, man. If you didn't stick, you know, hang in there. And it was scary when I was pregnant for you because I didn't want to lose you. I wanted you. And there was a couple of times when I went in, the doctor's like, nope, everything's good. Stop worrying so much, you know. And I did
Mhm.
take it a lot easier. And here you are.
Oh,
A pretty
yeah.
easy pregnancy. I didn't have the problems that I had with Aaron.
Mhm.
And they said I was going to, for sure, because it's hormonal when a person gets pregnant.
Right.
And they said I was going to have those, and I never did. But the day that I went into the hospital for you, I knew instinctively that there was something wrong. And every time I stood up, your heart stopped. And so they induced labor and everything, but here you are.
Yeah. I think probably every single expecting parent, that's like their worst fear.
It is, you know, especially when you've been through it a couple of times, you're like, what? You know,
Mm.
because I didn't have any problems with the first 3 at all, you know. So but you know, when people ask me, well, why didn't you stop after 1, 2, 3? And I'm like, well, if I had stopped after 1, I wouldn't have had Mark, Jared, Aaron,
Mhm.
Joshua, you know. So
Yeah. And you felt that we were waiting to come down.
yeah,
Mm. Well, um, I'm glad that you didn't stop.
me too.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine missing out on you.
Hmm. Yeah. I couldn't imagine not having a life. I feel like that's
Uh, so
uh,
much joy. And you know, in my outlook, I mean, like when I was a little girl, uh, in school, even at that time, they would say, what do you want to be when you grow up? And, you know, the response was teacher. nurse, fireman, you know, whatever. And I go, Mom, I want to be a mommy. So now I did it.
So out of all of your jobs, foreign exchange student and salesperson, would you say that mom has been your favorite job?
Oh yeah. There's nothing can replace it. Not all the cars, the houses, the boats, anything in the whole wide world, uh, the greatest joy
Mm-hmm.
by far. I can't even compare anything to it.
Yeah. I think I remember you telling me when I was relatively young about, complications, the tail end of your pregnancy with me and then the other two. And I don't know, it really motivated me to take life seriously, to, not mess around with things that could, I don't know, put me down different paths or, jeopardize my health or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are there any stories of me when I was a baby?
One of my favorite ones. There's lots and lots, but one of my favorite ones is uh, when you told me, not to kiss you so much. And I go, well, you put stipulations, and I go, well, can I kiss you every once in a while? And you go, yeah, as long as it's not wet. And then one time you were sitting in the high chair, and I know I've told you this, but you're sitting in the high chair, and I was like, just pouring my heart out how much I loved you, like, I love you so much, you're so cute, just going on and on. And you overcame with emotions, and you went, you wanted a hug. I'm just so overwhelmed.
Oh, how cute.
You were always. And I always said you had like a football smile because you have pitchy cheeks and a little, barbell smile because you have these big cheeks and little, like your daughter.
I still have some pudgy cheeks.
Little pudgy cheeks.
Yeah.
And then I was telling you the other day about the air, we went to Florida for Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
And you were only like 3, I think, 3 or 4. And just all the cute things. Have you seen the pictures? If not, I'll bring them out.
Man, yeah. I don't see. Here's the thing: is that I make fun of Aaron for not being grateful for going to Japan. I honestly, until he told me the other day, I had no idea that I went
I'll bring
to
out the pictures. That's really cute.
Disney World. Man, I thought for sure
Yeah.
they've been to Disneyland.
Well, we stuffed your shoes so we can make you tall enough to get on Buzz Lightyear.
Oh man, you know what? I remember some pictures of us next to
Like fish. The hotel we were at had like this really nice pool inside.
I'm trying to think of what costume characters they were though. I don't know if I remember. Oh, I remember one of them was Captain America, but that wasn't probably at Disney World
That was
yet.
in high school.
That was in...
You wore that.
No, I'm talking about like Aaron and me as kids. We were next
Oh, okay.
to or something like that. And I can't remember. Well, very cool. Well, I'll have to go back to Disney World someday. Hopefully I'll remember it.
Yeah.
But,
I'm glad we got to see that one video of you when you were, what, 6?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was cute.
Yeah. Jerry, over there. Oh,
I think that was for sure like I don't know. I don't want to say a miracle, but like definitely inspired that we saw that right before I was about to go on my mission.
Definitely.
Hmm.
Because he said he was going to show you before your mission.
Hmm. Speaking of missions, Mark was the first one to go on a mission. What was that like? Did he always know that he wanted to go on a mission, or is there some convincing?
I think probably in the back of his mind. I mean, I, like you, I saw the conversion. It wasn't just like, uh, is he converted or not? It was after he was probably about 15. And, he was asking me, can I wear an earring? No. Can I wear a nose ring? No. Eyebrow, whatever he was doing at the time. And not being a bad kid, but he was just hanging around people at school and wondering. And then I challenged him to read the Book of Mormon because I had seen John Lund at Education Week. And he said, I reward my children. It's positive reinforcement, not bribery. And he goes, I've honored everything that my kids have ever asked if they read the Book of Mormon. So Mark said that he wanted to have a English bulldog. And keep in mind, your dad and I could barely make ends meet at the time. We didn't have an oven for like 3 years because we couldn't really afford to get it. And so I said, got to honor this. So he read the Book of Mormon, and it was like overnight I saw a change in him. From then on, he never turned back. He always knew that he was going. I think at that point he knew he was going on a mission.
Hmm.
And the miracle with that is that I had to go to an energy class, just one, and they gave me a new oven. That was what they were offering.
Wow.
Tell me that's coinciding. I don't think so. It was a miracle
Yeah, that's crazy.
because I gave my son something I honored what
Mhm.
we were in our agreement. I got a new oven.
Oh,
So
there you
cool
go.
story.
That is a very cool story. Some psychology major info that I can add is the difference between positive reinforcement and bribery is that bribery normally comes before
Ah,
the behavior and positive reinforcement
there you
comes
go.
afterwards. So there you go.
And then one thing my mom always said, she always said a few things, and every once in a while they run through my mind. She said, you can never spoil a child by giving them too much love.
Oh,
So there you go.
oh. Yeah, I don't think I mean, as much love as you've given us, I don't think we got spoiled by it for sure. How was it when he got his mission call and it said Africa, Kenya?
It was funny because I was interviewing for another job. I wasn't even in the state. I was in Washington.
Uh-huh.
And he goes, Mom, should we read it, while you're gone? And I said, yeah, I'll stay on the phone. So your grandma and grandpa were there. And I remember they were here and I was there, but I was like, Africa, did they go to Africa?
Oh,
And there's more to that story, but I'll tell you later. And then to tell you the truth, though, the whole time Mark was gone, I cried a lot. I had never been through that experience before. I was scared for him. I knew it was the right thing to do, but it's hard.
mm-hmm.
I identify with Hannah, even though she gave her son to the Lord for good,
Mm-hmm.
Mine was 2 years. I still, that there was a song that came out at the time, and it was Hannah's song, and it was one of the Book of Mormon videos or the Bible videos, and I just cried and cried to it. But I knew he was supposed to be there, even though it's one of the toughest things a mom will ever do.
Hmm. Did you have any perceptions of Africa? I remember I asked Mark this once because you know, if, if you talk about, the stereotype is that there's starving kids in Africa, but he said that his, you know, perception, at least what they taught him in high school was, it was all like, Egypt or Dubai or whatever, and everyone, was wearing gold all the time, and everyone was really wealthy. Um, did you have any ideas of what he might be facing when he got there?
Uh, I didn't have that perception. I had seen documentaries and movies and stuff, so it was probably a lot worse. It was a lot bleaker than that. Uh, you know, children starving, kind of. And even when, now keep in mind, they were only allowed to call home 4 times a year.
Hmm.
Not 4 times, 2 times a year. So 4 times altogether. And
Right.
I missed one of the calls. So I only got to talk to him 3 times.
Why'd you miss a call?
I think it was a miscommunication in what time and everything. So
Oh,
it was devastating, you know.
I could imagine.
But
Was it for Mother's Day or Christmas?
Mother's Day, that was a sad day.
I bet.
But I'm like, I bet what, because he said he was going to call me at a certain time, and I knew church was going to be done, so I came home and I was out waiting and waiting and waiting and never came. So
And then
and
did he like email you or something?
yeah, I finally got, and then all the letters that I sent to him, I had to put Jesus stickers on it, like you.
Hmm.
So because they're superstitious, they wouldn't open the mail or steal it if it had a Jesus sticker on it. But it
Yeah.
was funny because I sent him a really big box. There wasn't ways to get him stuff,
Mhm.
and it had all the stuff that he would probably need and a little bit extras. And it was a big box, and it went. He goes, there were so many stickers on that box. Got there 8 months later. Didn't get,
Yeah,
yeah. So
very cool. Um,
and then seeing pictures
when-
with armed guards. I finally saw pictures where they took him into the cities. I'm like, what? Armed guards with machine guns? Scary for a mom.
right. Did you see that while he was still on his mission?
Hmm. But he
Okay.
didn't tell me a lot of stuff. He said, I
Right.
didn't tell you on purpose.
Right. Yeah, I think, yeah, afterwards and just recently he shared some other stories and you're like, I hadn't heard of that.
Oh, yeah. What? You can tell me now. You're home. You're safe. Yeah.
Do you have any advice for moms whose kids are going on first kid to go on a mission?
I don't know if there's a lot of preparing. Uh, just stay close to the Lord and know that He is protecting your children.
Hmm.
I learned that with you. I learned that with Aaron. And a lot of times, if there was an issue, I knew it before you guys told me. Because one time you emailed me, and it was before we were, yeah. I'm trying to think. I emailed you. You emailed me before I could email you and tell you I had a bad dream.
Hmm.
You just said, Mom, I know you're worried about me, because you must have felt it too, but know that the Lord is protecting me. And it was that story where you guys went and clapped at somebody's house to open it, and your companion turned to you and said, let's go.
Hmm.
And you felt it too. And it was the next day that I think I had emailed you and said I had a really bad dream that something was going to happen to you. So we know these things.
Yeah,
So stay tuned.
that's crazy. I remember that. Yeah, and
I
yeah.
remember that happened with Aaron too.
Hmm. Hmm.
I had a dream about him or something. And I was really worried. And the next day I get an email and he goes, I'm okay, Mom. But somebody had pulled a gun on him in Texas. Yeah. So, but the Lord was there and He was protecting him.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that only happened to me a couple of times on my mission, because we would just knock doors, clap outside and just talk to whoever. But there was one time that the rule is always 3 times, We clapped once and we looked at each other and we're like, we need to get out of here. And
That
so,
was
yeah,
at the time.
yeah. hmm I think so. I think that was the
But it
time.
was great because the way you phrased it, though. I know you're worried about me.
hmm
And so you must have, like I said, you must have been feeling it too, because I'm like, oh, good. Phew. Now I
Yeah,
can, yeah.
yeah,
But, and then when I see pictures of you, I'm like, get a microscope out and, okay, does he still look healthy? We still worry. We still worry.
right. Now, how old was I when Mark went on a mission? I had to be very young, right? I
Yeah, you were under 3.
was under 3.
You were
Mm,
probably 2.
Probably.
I think you were 2 because when he came back, you were about 4. So that makes sense.
He came back before Jared went on his mission, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And how was that when? What about Jared's story? Did he always know he was going to go on a mission?
Again, I think that there's a defining moment
hmm
where Jared just took it very seriously. You were even reading the Book of Mormon, even though you couldn't read really with him and Aaron, and every night, very diligent, reading the scriptures. I saw you see a physical, spiritual, mental change in your children when they have a conversion. And even though they know most of their lives, there is this defining moment where I know the gospel is true.
hmm
And Jared went over to see grandma and grandpa a lot before he left. And I think he was afraid that grandma was going to pass away while he was gone. And he spent so much time reading scriptures with her and just pouring his heart to her. And I remember him saying, man, I wish grandma could go in and get surgery, get gastric bypass, something to help her. He wanted her to be there. And she definitely prepared her way to meet Heavenly Father.
hmm
She was ready but I think he was very key in that. And while he was on his mission, grandma passed away, and he was allowed to call. And so we were in the hospital room, and grandma couldn't talk anymore. She had a stroke, but she was very alert. You could tell. Her eyes would follow me around the room, and I said, Mom, it's Jared. And so I put the phone up to her, and he got to tell her how much he loved her.
Yeah.
And she, her eyes lit up, and you could tell she was just so happy to be hearing from her missionary. And so, yeah, it's very special. He got to say goodbye to grandma.
That is very special.
Yeah, a couple of things happened while he was on his mission too. I found an old card that after grandma passed away, a birthday card to
hmm
Jared, and she always gave him a 20. So uh, I sent that card that she had already signed and put a 20 in it and sent it to him
Oh,
from her. So very special.
yeah. How was that experience for you?
Uh, for me, for losing my mom,
hmm
I lost my best friend in the whole wide world, and she hears from me often. uh, she, after she passed away, uh, the way I uh, deal with things a lot of times is music.
hmm
And so I listened to music over and over, and I was in a horrible job, like one of the worst jobs I'd ever had. And all the way to work, I would listen to it. All the way back, I would listen to these songs that would help. But one night, grandma came to me and I was in like a twilight sleep and she kissed me and she told me everything was going to be okay. I could actually physically feel her kiss me. And I knew Heavenly Father, uh, it was a privilege, not a right. She and I had earned that, and I was in the right place at the right time. Quiet, you have to be quiet.
Hmm.
And then one other time. And then what, about a year ago, maybe less than a year ago, I was mourning her because there's nothing like a mother's love. Everything, most people are conditional. Well, if you're nice to me, then I'm going to love you. If you're not nice to me, I'm just going to kind of be mean, walk away. I don't know. But my mom never did that to me. And so I think I missed that a lot. And, I never heard her say how much she missed her mom and dad. So that's why I let you guys know. I miss my mom. I miss my dad. I miss, people that I've loved. It's important for you to know that. Um, I'm looking forward to all of us being together someday. But anyway, about a year ago, I was mourning her and just needed her. If I'm sick, for sure you're going to hear me say I want my mom. I still want my mom. And she sent me a song I had never heard before by Billy Joel. It's called Lullaby. And in it, he says, you know, um, you know what I'm trying to say to you. I understand you have some questions, you know. And so that was my mom's way of just saying, and I promised I would never leave you. And I go, but you did. So it's a beautiful song. And she sent it to me.
Hmm.
It was like in that instant I was listening to, I don't know, Spotify or something, and it came on.
Oh, always watching out for you. The
Always, yeah.
veil is pretty thin.
Yeah, very, sometimes very, very thin.
Hmm. Was there anything Jared did when he came back from his mission to kind of, did he go to grandma's um tombstone, visit her?
Yeah, we did. Actually, you did too. You and Aaron and Jared and I all went over there and we just kind of laid out a blanket and listened to some songs that I reminded me of her. And yeah, it was very sweet. Make
Hmm.
no mistake, he loved his grandma.
Yeah,
Yeah. And and if she could have talked, she would have said, don't come home.
right.
And as a matter of fact, she wouldn't even pass away until I left.
Hmm.
I had to tell her, Mom, it's okay. I whispered in her ear, I'll be okay. I was totally lying to her. But and before I could get home, she had passed away. But she was waiting for me to leave.
Hmm. Now, right after she passed away, Gage was born, right? Or is it like a year
Yes.
later,
Yeah.
or
Mom passed away in
2005?
February
Okay.
of 2005.
Okay.
And then so 11 months later, I guess, Gage was
Okay.
born.
Was Jared on his mission or?
I think he was back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
And how was that having your first, I guess, through,
Grandson.
yeah, your blood, your first grandchild and first grandson?
It, amazing. It really is. I went in there with Christine because she was having a hard time, and I did everything my mommy told me to do
Hmm.
because Jared even though he's amazing and a bundle of so much fun when he was little, he was my hardest birth. And he was trying to be born straight up, like face up.
Oh, yeah.
And my mom comes in there and she said, have you tried putting her on her side? Because the baby will flip. My
Mhm,
mom worked in OB. And so they did that. And like 3 minutes later, Jared was on his way.
mhm.
So my mom, if she hadn't been there, I would have had a C-section. So
Ooh.
I tried to do the same thing um, with Christine. I said, did you turn her on her side? Did you do this? I did everything my mom would have said.
Mm,
And I rubbed her back for her. And then she had to have a C-section.
mm,
This wasn't happening. That I was watching Matt look at Gage, through the window. And there was a TV show called Dinosaurs. And the little baby would always look at everybody else, especially the dad, and go, not the mama. And so I was going, not the mama, you know.
Oh, that's
Just
funny.
remind me of that.
Was Matt and Christine, were they living with you at that time?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So
So
were
it
you
was fun
able
having
to,
a baby.
right, were you able to get a lot of grandma time?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, good.
That's during my time.
Okay.
And it was funny when Gage got a little bit older,
Mm-hmm.
because I always felt like I should have had more kids, and whether this is true or not, but he was little. He
Mm.
came up to me about 5 years old and he goes, you and grandpa couldn't have any more babies. So I came to my mom and dad.
Oh,
And I'm like, well, I'm grateful you did.
oh, that's
I thought,
cute.
cute.
And then Ethan was born not too long after Gage was.
Hmm.
Um,
3 months. There's
right.
3 months between them.
Mm-hmm. And where was Mark and Lindsay in San Diego at the time?
No, they were in Utah when she got pregnant.
They were in Utah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. And how was that?
At least when she got pregnant.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, we were all excited. Another baby.
I'm coming.
Keep it coming.
Very cool. Um, any
Oh,
stories?
and I do have a story about Ethan. They were in Utah when they had him,
Uh-huh.
because I was I was at a dance class, and Mark calls me. He goes, Lindsay's going into labor. So I tried to get a standby because I
Mhm.
wanted to be there, to help. And her mom was with her all day. And then I come in for the fireworks. And right after he was born, your dad was in Whistler. He was snow skiing. And yeah, it was our anniversary because Ethan was born right after that on the 20. No, he was born on the 24th. Oh, he was born on the 24th. And our anniversary is on the 25th of March. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, I called him. I go, you got another grandson.
Are there any, because we kind of glossed over it, but are there any stories that you haven't shared with Jared when you talked to him about Matthew, Mark, and Jared growing up, going to, school, did a
Um,
lot of sports, right?
Mark, Mark and Jared will tell you they were free range children. They were like, yeah, we used to watch. I go, I know, I could hear you on the roof jumping into the pool. I was like, can you guys not do that? But they were going to do it anyway. Your dad probably taught them how. Run across the roof and jump in. Yeah. Uh, I had a lot of fun with them. And they would, like want to carry me in the pool because I didn't weigh anything. And when I did work, I worked at the the blood bank before Aaron was born. So I would always try to go to work like at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning so I could be home by the time they were home from school. But in between, I've always worked for the foreign exchange, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Jared was just so funny. I said way too many stories to him about him, but just he would like what's that called? Kokomo. The
Mhm.
song Kokomo. It came out in '86, I think. So Jared was little, and they would say, "Come on, pretty mama," and he'd go, "You're my pretty mama." Uh,
Oh, that's so cute.
I think so. And then he used to try to make me laugh. He tried to make everybody laugh. We would just turn off the TV and watch Jared. There's Jared hour. Yeah. But all you guys are.
Mm-hmm. No, and
Y'all
he,
got my sense of humor,
right.
which your dad is like, I don't get it.
I was gonna say you're definitely a boy mom. What, how would life be different if you had daughters instead?
I think I'd ruin them probably. They'd be going, you know, your dad would come in just like, my dog Spot, see Spot run, my dog Spot. Where the guys
See Spot Run.
see Spot run, and you know, they're doing fart jokes and stuff. I don't know. The guy steps in the dog poo and he slips on his back, and you know, and he's "Ah!" and your dad's like, I don't get it. Why are you guys laughing so hard? And then we'd all laugh harder.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's hysterical. But I think the only thing that I think there's only two reasons why I'd want to have a girl if I had had a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Is one, I found out when you guys got older that it's like people go, oh, you can't love your son that much. You have to let go. And if it was a girl, they would go, yeah, you can. You can love her as much as you want until the day she, you know,
Mm-hmm.
even after she's married, you can love them as much as you want. And I'm like, why can't you love your son as much? I think I can. Okay.
I think you can, and I
Thank
think
you.
you do. Yeah.
And then I don't think any of you guys really love to shop. So when I would see girls and their moms in the mall, I go, you know,
Uh-huh.
that would be fun. Those are the only two things, though.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Other than that, boys are so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody says that has teenage girls. They're like, you are so lucky. All you have to do is ask Aunt Chris. She'd be like, yeah, you are.
I believe it. I'm excited, is what I meant to say. So Jared comes home from his mission.
Yeah.
Out of your boys, who's the first one to get married?
Mark.
Mark. Hi, Vivian.
Okay.
Cute
Love her.
glasses.
Mwah. We're doing an interview, baby.
Made a
I'll let
guest
you talk to
appearance.
him after, okay?
Your guest co-star. So
It'll be in the credits.
gotcha. Yeah, exactly. Mark was the first one to get married.
Yep.
How was that experience for you as a mom?
You know, when I look back, I was just like, oh, okay, let's do this. You know, I think everything went pretty smooth. I didn't have any reservations or anything. I think I was just kind of like, wow, they hadn't been together very long, but Mark seemed to be very happy. So there you go. And then I always tease Matt and Christine because they were supposed to get married in March before Yeah, they were supposed to be married in March. And then Mark and Lindsay were supposed to be married in March. And they got married in October. So Matthew and Christine got married in October after.
Right. Yeah, because Mark and Lindsay did get married in March.
Yeah.
It's like March like 13th or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was in the San Diego temple, huh? That's pretty cool. And so Mark and Lindsay got married first, and then Matt and Christine.
Yeah.
And how was that?
It was wonderful. We had it in the front yard and it was really fun.
I think I remember
I
that.
love the bishop. He was wonderful. And Katie Dellenbach sang at their wedding.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then Jared and Ray got married afterwards.
Yep. They got married in March too. So yeah, they went to China
Mm-hmm.
to go meet her parents and her dad and her stepmom, and while they were there they got married in China, and then they came back here and got married, and then they got married in the temple. So Jared has been married 3 times.
How about that? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's only like 38 and he's been married 3 times. Same woman.
That's funny. So how did you feel about, so Matt and Christine were married on your front lawn?
Yeah.
And Jared and Ray were married, on the other side of the world.
I was like, what? But it was, they came back, and Ray's wonderful.
Was it kind of like a surprise to you
Yes.
that they're going to get married?
Surprise. I think it was a surprise to them too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, and they're still together. I think that so far you have a pretty good track record for daughter-in-laws.
Oh,
So,
yeah. So much fun. And now I have people to go shopping with.
yeah, I remember you took me shopping and then abandoned me.
That was only one time. You should have heard what I did to your older brothers, though. They would be in the mall. I try to go shopping with them. And I'm like, just stay here. Somebody will want you. I promise.
Oh, very cool. I think I only have a couple more questions written down here, unless you have other stories between Aaron being born and
Oh, I have way too many stories, but
Jared
that's
and
for another
Maggie.
time, maybe.
Well, just if you have them, lay them on me. But also, I'm not too sure when. It might have been after Gage and Ethan were born. But when your dad passed away.
2008.
2008. Okay, so there's a couple
July.
of years. So there's only 3 years between your mom and your dad passing.
Yeah, I am shocked that Grandpa lived that long. He, with whatever faults he had, he adored my mom.
Mhm.
And I said he earned his stripes in heaven because he took care of her. I've never seen anybody take care of their wife like that. And everything that she had to have done, he never complained about it.
Hmm.
And, when Mom became like, she had fibromyalgia so bad when you were, oh gosh, it was just before you were born or just about the time you were being born, and she couldn't move, and they put her in a home just to rehabilitate her. And he never left her side. Just amazing. And they always professed, like he always professed how much he loved her, and acted like they were teenagers. I've never seen it before where somebody just, like, he would just love on her and act like he was just met her and they were teens.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome to see.
Mm-hmm. So how did your relationship with your dad change over the course of how old were you when your mom married him?
It's 9.
Just 1 second. Oh, and I'm wearing
Oh, I love it.
Well, you're doing anything.
but it could be both.
Oh, great, everything fabulous.
We're almost.
You recording?
I think so. Hopefully.
She will be in the credits too.
Yeah. Well, she's my co-host.
Can she see me?
I think she can. You guys so excited.
There she is. There she is. There she is.
Excuse me, got a little bit of slobbers here.
Ooh, so pretty. Oh, look at that smile. That's it. Oh. This is what we do when I watch her. You know that, right?
Uh-huh.
So pretty. Ooh. We have to do this more. Huh?
I think so too.
So pretty, girl.
You hungry? So continue. You said that I was about 1 year old.
Oh yeah, when grandma was put in a home just to rehabilitate her, and you know, grandpa just would set up in a chair and try to sleep all night there. And Aunt Chris, because I had just had you, there's no way I could have done it, but Aunt Chris went and helped him every once in a while.
Mm.
Because when people are in homes, a lot of times you have to protect them. Yeah. So
Mhm.
they did. And there was while I was pregnant with even Aaron, they said, I don't think your mom's going to make it. She had some kind of illness and she was in the hospital. But even doctors will admit that because of a mother's love, they'll hang on. They'll even get well, to help with their children. And I think that's what she did. It's even what the doctor said. Actually, grandma said when she did get ill, when I was pregnant with Aaron, she said that a nurse was praying for her because she felt herself slipping away, and the nurse prayed her back.
Oh,
And
wow.
Yeah, and she recovered.
Wow. Well, I know she loved you. That's for sure.
Yeah, she did.
I remember when I was younger that Christine had a really strong bond with your parents too. Was it with grandma and grandpa or just grandpa?
I think both, but mainly grandpa. They were just buds. And I told her, I said, man, you're going to have to get younger friends. They're dying on you, But her and grandpa were best friends.
Mhm.
My relationship wasn't like that with grandpa. Well, I was at home so much because I think there was some, I don't know what to call it, rivalry, my mom. But when I got married, that all went away.
Mhm.
We became very close.
Oh, good. Do you have any suggestions for young people out there that their parents are getting married to other people? How to cope with a new parent?
You could give your words of wisdom, but be kind and loving, and they're going to make their own mistakes. They're going to make their own successes, and if they stay close to the church, if they read their scriptures and do everything will be okay. I think that clears up a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But is this baby time again? He's so pretty. There's our girl. Yes, it is. There's our girl. I give you kisses. Yes, I will. So cutie. She loves grandma. She told me.
I give you kisses from grandma.
Yeah. Oh, gotta take a picture of this. Oh, oh, hold on. Hold on. Oh, take a picture.
You know, everyone says that she looks like me, and I just don't see it.
Oh, she's so pretty. That is so cute. That was a jerk face. Okay, you have to go like this. Yeah. When you did that just before your mission, I'm like, oh man, you guys are so funny. You guys have been my greatest joy, for sure.
I know, I'm the best.
You got one.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like it in the whole wide world.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of, do you have any suggestions, any words of wisdom for parents trying to raise their children?
Just do what you're doing. Love her with all your heart. Do everything you're doing. You know, it will pay off. Nothing's more important than your children. Just keep that in mind. Every once in a while, I hear my mom in my mind, and she'll be saying, "Blessed are the peacemakers." I know, Mom. When I heard it today in church, I'm like, "Yep, that's right. Blessed are the peacemakers." Can I just yell once? No.
Well, I'll tell you what, you have definitely been a peacemaker
I hope so.
in the family.
Someday I'll have to share you all the stuff that my mom said. And every once in a while, I'm like, okay, here it comes. There's my mom.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always good advice. My mom loved me with all of her heart. And she wouldn't give me bad advice.
Mm-hmm.
So I try not to do that with you guys.
Yeah. Well, you certainly have a family that loves you with all of our heart too. And you give us amazing advice as well.
Come on. Is there anything else, or should I tell Grandpa to come in there and see her real quick?
I think now's a great time to bring Grandpa in.
Oh, it's so pretty. You stay right there. Don't go anywhere, okay? Yeah.
Hey. You got feet. Got toes.
Woo, look at those feet.
Who, Josh? Josh? Josh is my baby.
Yeah,
Who's that? That's his baby.
she could see you. Talk to her.
Can you see me, huh? Are you being a good baby? Yeah, are you being a good baby?
Ah, she's so pretty. You have to tell her how pretty she is.
Yeah. Did you get your interview done?
I think so.
Did she pass?
She did. Yeah, she answered all the questions right.
Get an A. Get an A. Yeah.
She has a good memory. I don't remember any of that stuff. So good thing you're interviewing her.
Yeah. We'll do like a page of your life, you know, just like
Yeah. Well, just ask Mom about my life. She'll be able to tell you about my life too better than I can.
we might have to double space it too.
Yeah. What are you doing? She looks like she's all ready for bed.
Just about. We got to eat this bottle right here. Ooh.
It's like, ooh, rub.
So is she eating more and more food? Oh, look at that.
She teased me.
Is she eating more and more food?
Yep. we've been doing 6-ounce bottles, but now we're throwing in a couple 7 ounces, and we're giving her real food too.
Is you have enough of the formula to get by now
Oh
a
yeah.
year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're doing just fine. I think we have like 4 or 5 months right now, and then someone just told us that they have like 4 bottles or 4 containers to give us.
So how's your work?
Great.
Really?
Yeah, only, let's see, on Friday, only oh, sorry about that. Here you go. Only 3 of the 6 students took their clothes off during class. So
Now, why is that a thing? Why do they want to do that?
one of them was protest. You know, she didn't want to do some things, so she just hung to the ground and started taking her clothes off. One of them thinks it's really funny. She'll start like laughing hysterically. And then one of them, I'm like, all right, let's go change for PE. And he started undressing like in the bathroom. We're going to go to the bathroom first.
That's so funny. I had one of those in my Sunday school class. He would take his clothes off because he was on the spectrum, but he was like, okay, let's keep your clothes on.
So what do you do? How do you, is there a procedure?
Well, the 2 boys, they you know, they do awesome with following directions. I let the female teachers handle the girls a little bit more. It's not my area of expertise. I kind of just like, all right, tag out.
What does she do? Does she
I don't know. She normally, if my arms are crossed, she'll like hold on to my arm. But she's been going like this a lot recently. I might stop the recording right now.
Okay.
well, we're